My name is Robert Hellstrom. I'm Vice President of Marketing and Strategy at Sightly. And our product that won the Ad to Action Innovation Award is the TargetView local video advertising platform. And I'm just going to kind of give you an update on where we are with the development of that. We obviously building out several different versions of this to take care of different parts of the market. The initial version has been a managed service version, and we just released our reporting module to our beta partners, and we should have a full self-service version which would include video ad creation and versioning, as well as campaign provisioning and management optimization in September. So what I wanted to do is give you a little bit of context in terms of video advertising, since it's something that is new to a lot of people, and kind of give you an idea of what our software does and where we are, show you some of the screens from our beta product that give you an idea of what the capabilities are going to be for our users, our clients, which include both advertisers coming to us direct, agencies, and eventually value-added resellers that serve multiple SMBs. So a lot of what we do with advertisers and agencies right now revolves around the multi-local brand space. We are particularly adept at creating multiple location campaigns, both ads as well as campaigns that can be done on a scalable basis for brands that are like that. So if you can move to the next slide, Joe. A little bit of context here to show you the anatomy of a video ad campaign. I think that slide rendered a little bit poorly in PowerPoint, unfortunately, so I apologize for that. But these are all the components that we bake into our software. Obviously, we start up with the strategy, and ultimately what happens over time is that we can refine these strategies for particular clients as well as for verticals when we get to the SMB space. But that includes both creative, what goes into the ad, and campaign in terms of how it's targeted, as well as what networks it's run on. And then we have to deal also with funding source. Where does the money come from? In some organizations like franchises, that becomes a very convoluted proposition because it could be coming from corporate, it could be a combination of corporate and local, etc. OEMs with dealer networks have a similar co-marketing option. There may be co-ops of local businesses, etc. Then we get into the ad creation. We'll get into each of these a little bit more specifically throughout the presentation here, where we also talk about targeting, which involves the who, not just demographics these days, but technology allows us to also target in terms of interests and behaviors, as well as geolocations, anywhere from state-level DMA down to a 1 mile radius around a specific address, storefront, if you will, and when, during which cycle of the purchase cycle, which phase of the purchase cycle, etc. Also, the media spend seems to be where most clients want to focus their attention. Where do we spend this money for them on their behalf? Where do we buy the ads? What networks, which publishers, which ad units, across which locations, and what's the time frame of the campaign as well as the velocity of the spend. The management and optimization piece, which involves all kinds of setup as well as daily management, performance analysis as well as optimization, and then recommendations in terms of how to optimize creative as well as the campaign and audience targeting, and then results reporting. So the results reporting specifically for video involves views, which include both full views and partial views, commonly known as impressions, but we can measure exactly how much of the video has been consumed, has been viewed, clicks, the multiplier effect that it has on all the other elements of the marketing mix, etc. So let's go to the next slide, Joe, please. So our technology has three major components that include all of those elements: the ad personalization component, the programmatic buying component, and the campaign management component, all of which are underpinned by what we like to call the local big data, which is the information that we gather, the data that we gather and massage in order to determine how to optimize campaigns, both for individual clients as well as for categories over time. Go ahead and move on to the next slide. So let's talk a little bit about each of these. Automatically create personalized ads. We like to take a master ad, which is typically on the client to provide either as a broadcast, existing broadcast commercial, or a created for the internet advertisement that can either be handled by an existing creative agency or a third-party partner that we would be able to connect the advertiser to. In some cases, we also do the work. We have a small production crew that will put these ads together. But where our platform really comes into play is in the templatizing of that master ad. In other words, where do we insert all of the variable data, and then creating and rendering the multiple versions of those ads and hosting them for all of the locations where those campaigns are going to run. We can move on to the next slide there. So here's an example of two side-by-side localized, personalized ads that we ran for Nationwide Insurance that shows a photo of the local agent, a map where their office is located, their phone number, their address, and a call to action to click here, because this is an interactive ad unit, to click here to get connected to the local agent, which would take them to a landing page to get a quote, etc. We have found that dynamically we can add local information, but localizing an ad and personalizing the ad actually boosts response rate by up to 200%. So what this allows us to do also is quite a bit of A/B testing, where we can change out deals and offers when we find that there are certain parts of the audience that is not responding to the ad. One of the recommendations we can make is to try a different version of the ad, modify the ad, etc., which is it's infinitely easier to do in our system than it has ever been, especially on television. Next slide, please. And while we don't have the video templatizing and versioning feature available yet to our beta partners, I wanted to show you in the actual software where we would have the videos reside, so that you could at any time, an account manager could anytime go in and see what videos were running for which locations, which campaigns. So this is just a screen capture to show you a little bit of that. Next slide, please. So we get into the programmatic buying, and what we're really talking about here is targeting on a programmatic basis, where we can, the technology allows us to target based on, as I said earlier, not just demographics and geographics, but also behaviors as well as interests. So you can see in these examples a couple different audience segments, if you will, the different types of activities and behaviors that we can target based on the technology that's available to us through our platform. And you can move to the next slide. We're also talking about reaching multiple screens, all of the different types of devices, phones, tablets, connected televisions, desktop, laptop, computers, etc., across all different kinds of networks. Currently, we're connected with the Google ecosystem, which is where we're starting to build out from. We felt that YouTube was the largest player when it comes to inventory in terms of video, and in really the largest player when it comes to a video network, if you will. But eventually we're going to be connecting to all of these social, video, mobile, and display networks. We are currently Google's only video platform partner with exclusive access to the TrueView inventory, which is the skippable ad unit inventory, and I could go on and talk about that and the revolutionary power behind that skippable ad unit, but we'll say that for another webinar. We move on to the next slide, please. And here are a couple screens that will show you how the account manager accesses that information. So from a location perspective, we've only populated this sort of a sample screen with a couple of locations that would be part of a campaign, but you can see where we can vary between a service area and a storefront to a DMA. We can go different types of locations as well as consistent across an entire campaign. So if we wanted to do specific radius around each of the locations, we could do that as well. And you can turn on and off each of these locations at will, and depending upon how many users, how many account people you have access, you give access to this, they have those different permissions to be able to do that. Next slide, please. Here's an example of how some of the audience targeting takes place at that campaign level, where you can add an audience and specify the gender and age ranges that you're going after, you're targeting, but as well as the topics. And in the video nomenclature, interests actually equate to behaviors. Keywords, both content keywords as well as search keywords, because we do have a search component for video that YouTube happens to be the second largest search engine, so there's a very strong search component there as well. As well as, you can't see the entire screen, but we have placements where you can specify specific channels that you want to use, etc., for that kind of work. Let's see here. Sorry, I got interrupted by my Skype there. I put my do not disturb on. Next slide, please. Okay, we've got the third component across the top of our technology slide, which is the campaign management component, which includes optimization. And the scalability that we've baked in here will allow one account manager to do the work of 650, whereas a typical video campaign takes a good, between 15 and 30 hours, depending upon whether you're applying best practices or not, to set up to do all the advanced audience segmentation that you want to do in order to get the best results, as well as about 10 to 12 hours a month to maintain. Typically, one account manager could set up and maintain 20 to 30 of these on a monthly basis, whereas with the software, when it's fully deployed and doing all the work that you've set it up to do, you can manage up to 2,500 campaigns per person. We move on to the next slide, please. And this kind of gives you an idea of what the account manager would see when they come into the software. The dashboard here that could show all of the different clients or all of the different campaigns that are running. Again, this data here is basically set up as a dummy data or mock data just to give you an idea of what it looks like, so that you could then drill down into any of these components and see what is going on in a particular ad campaign for a particular client. You can view down into those, drill down into those metrics as well. You can drill into the locations and ad locations, etc. Move on to the next slide, please. And then finally, we talked about the big data that underpins everything that we collect over time, and we use to not only optimize the campaign, but also to provide you with the view to the information about the results. If you could move to the next slide, Joe. And so the reporting module that I mentioned, which is now available to our beta partners, allows you to see by campaign, by client, by location, across any particular slice of time, as well as drilling down into any of those metrics as far as views, view rate, total impressions or partial views, etc., that you can see for any of those campaigns that are running in any of the locations. So it allows you to go drill way down into the data, come back up, and create reports as you need to provide your client. And that's kind of the overall of where we're at and what we're building.
Is there a fee for changing the ads if they're not performing as well as we'd like?
No, that's part of the service. Basically, the fee that we take from the entire service cost covers everything. The only thing that's not covered by the fee would be the the initial ad creation, the master ad creation component, and any kind of anything that goes beyond our service, like setting up landing pages, for example, is not part of what we do. Anything that has to do with the conversions beyond the what we deliver in terms of views and clicks and the lift.